Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's Dave here. How are you? Thanks for coming by Surviving New England. I want to talk about getting lost. I have a true story that happened to me actually just a couple of months ago. And I want to talk about when you admit to yourself that you're lost. Now, I'm going to try to make this kind of short as far as the lead up to how I got lost. I went to an area, a local spot near my home. It's really close. It's like a nature preserve area. I'm not that familiar with this spot, but I had been there a couple times, took a short hike. And when I was there, I stumbled upon a really neat trail. It looked like a nice trail, but I didn't have a lot of time. The sun was going down, so I kind of took a mental note. And I returned to this trail about a week later or 2 weeks later. So I did not pack for this to go check this trail out. I didn't really expect to be out very long. I was only going to be out, actually, I planned on maybe a half an hour. And it was kind of, I scoped out a trail to scope it out so I could take this trail for a day hike. So I pulled in, I set off with nothing because I was only going to be a half an hour. So I didn't take anything with me. I had a walking stick and my Leatherman, which I carry with me constantly. And I made my way to this trail that I wanted to explore. So I got to this area, which is only 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes into the woods. I think it might be just 10 minutes. And I see the trail that I want to explore just a little bit, just to make some plans for that weekend, the coming up weekend, to make a day hike out of it. So I see the trailhead, and I'm like, all right, let me just dip my toe in the water. I just want to take the first 100 yards down this trail. I'm just curious. It kind of wraps around the water. So I made my way down the trail. I was not carrying a backpack. I had nothing with me because I was coming right back to my vehicle. So I was not concerned that I needed stuff, right? So I headed down this trail and I hiked down this trail, not even 3 or 4 minutes down the trail, and I bumped into two people on the trail. Two young guys, maybe in their mid-20s, late 20s, and I started to talk to them. They were actually in my trail, so I kind of just said, "Hey, how you doing?" And we started to talk a little bit. And this young kid in his mid-20s said, "Yeah, I know this place really well, and do you want to see something cool?" I said, "Yeah, that would be great. I would love to." So I let him lead. He said to me that there is a floor in the woods, about 15 minutes down this particular trail. I said, "What do you mean a floor?" He goes, "Well, come with me. I'll show you." And I said, "Okay, you lead. I'll follow you." So we made our way down this trail, an unmarked trail, by the way, in this particular nature preserve area. And we get to an area about 15 minutes down the trail. There's a floor, like a concrete, someone brought concrete stone and made a floor. There's no foundation. There was never a building there or anything like that. And anyways, So that's not. This is not the story. So I followed this complete stranger into the woods with no gear at all. So we saw this floor or whatever, and he said, okay, we'll head back to the main trail where we came off of 15 minutes back. We hiked for a little bit. 25 minutes went by, or 20 minutes, and I said, geez, this is weird. Are you sure you know where you are? And he assured me, I know this forest like the back of my hand. I said, okay. But it's weird because it only took us 15 minutes to get here. And we've been walking through the woods and nothing looks familiar for the past 10 minutes, right? He goes, nope, I know where I am. I said, okay, all right, pal, lead the way, right? We hiked for probably another 10 minutes, maybe another 15, right? And I said, hey, stop. And now it looked to me like this young'un started to panic a little bit. He was walking really fast, and it seemed like he was lost. I said, listen, I this looks familiar to me, the trail that we were on. I think that we were here already. I felt that we had made a big circle. And he assured me, no, I know where I'm going. The main trail is just up ahead. Okay. So I followed this kid, further for another 10 minutes again. And I said, that's it. This is ridiculous. We're lost. And he turned to me and said, yes, I know where I am, but I'm not sure where we are. And I said, what does that mean? Right? So I said, listen, we need to stay on this trail, either follow it or turn around, one or the other. He said, no, I got this. We'll keep following the trail. So we continued on this trail for another almost 10 minutes. And I said, this is crazy. And I started to see this kid, start to panic. And he started to kind of do circles. He would go way ahead of me. And I'm like, hey, slow down, slow down. And he was like way ahead of me. He would like circle back, leave the trail. He was leaving the trail and then coming back. And he's like, listen, I know where the other trail is. We'll just bushwhack. We'll just go this way. I know where I am. So we left the trail. Now I'm looking up at the sky and I'm taking note of the sun. And I know that we're losing sunlight. And I mentioned to him, I'm not opposed to setting up a camp. I will not do circles in the woods until it gets dark out, and then we're stuck out here in the woods. Now I know the area is pretty large in as far as forestry mileage goes, but I know that I have a road to my east and I have a road to my west. So I look at my compass, and as I did so, I heard a truck, like a really distant vehicle pass by, really distant. Now, I looked at the clock, and then I did my check on the horizon with my fingers. You can kind of tell if you put your fingers up to the sun, and each finger is 15 minutes, whatever, long story, I can't explain it in the dark, but I knew I had about a half an hour, maybe an hour of sunlight. I told this kid, I'm going to hunker down here. I will not do circles in the woods. There's no way I'm doing that. So once I had heard the vehicles pass by way off in the distance, I knew it. There was no trail to the road, so we bushwhacked for a little bit. I continued to watch this kid panic and go run zigzag through the woods, and had to assure him, we're going in the right direction, settle down. So here is my question to you is, when do you decide, when you're lost in the woods, that it's time to make camp? If you were legitimately lost, you weren't sure if you could get back to the trailhead or your vehicle before the sun went down, when do you say to yourself, I have to stop, make fire, and get comfortable for the night? I mean, just to be not walking in circles in the pitch dark in the forest. So just kind of a question for you guys to maybe give me some feedback. I mean, have you ever been in that situation? I was fortunate that we actually reached the road before the sun went down. We had probably 25 minutes to a half an hour before the sun went down, and we made it. But I had to call for a ride because when I got to a road, I realized where I was, and I was probably 4 miles from where I parked, when originally I went into the forest just to hike for 20 minutes. So, just saying, thank you so much for clicking, and I'll see you on the next one.